Hi, everybody. I want to go over some more items regarding equity and more specifically how to do dividend distribution. So, I wanted to just look at an example. We have a company that took out 240K cash dividend, and they have, on top of the common that they have here, they also have a preferred stock. And the thing is, preferred has to get paid before common. So, what we're saying here is that they have this currently has a 9,000 $100 par value preferred. So this preferred is worth 900K, 900,000 par total. 100 times 9,000. And it's 1 year in arrears, right? So what's the dividend on this 900K that they have in arrears? It's basically 63K, right? It's 63K. And now when they go to pay the 240 out this year, look, they have to pay the 63 first for last year preferred. It has to get paid first. Then they have to pay 63 for this year preferred, right? So they first have to shell out 126, right? Only then do they have whatever is left over for common. So the lesson here is that you have to pay preferred first, then you pay common. So moving on for our next question for property dividend, and we have a situation here where you could see that we have Pearson Corp. They're owning some shares of Hunter Corp. So it's one corp basically owning an asset in another corp. That's all. 10,000 shares, and they purchased it for 90 grand, right? And then when they pay a property dividend, they basically are now distributing these shares as dividend to their own shareholders. And now the market price is 21. And we're saying, what's the gain? Well, we went from 9, right? We went from 9 at first to 21 later. So we had a $12 gain on these shares. So at 9,000, this $12 gain per share, we have a gain of 108, right? Now, what's the reduction in RE is that, well, what happened was is that we have a certain amount of cost associated with these shares. So the total proceed at the end of the day was 189, which is 21 times 9,000. So the total proceed was 189K. Now out of the 189, right, how much was gain? That was 108. So 189 less 108 equals the 81, which is the reduction in retained earnings. That's basically the reduction in equity. Is basically the original cost of these things in a way, outside of the gain. Okay. And moving on to another question here, we have our retained earnings roll forward. And here we have a question where we have Hamilton Company had retained earnings of 180. This is kind of like a roll forward where we start with whatever is what happened last year, and then we start going through each piece. They earned 75K, so we add that to retained earnings. So we add 75. Then treasury stock sales don't really apply to retained earnings, so we ignore that. The cash dividend always reduces retained earnings, so we have a reduction here. And then when they declare a stock dividend, you look at the fair value of the stock dividend. So we have 1,500 shares at 30 bucks. So we look 1,500 at 30, and that also reduces the amount that we're totally gonna have here. So all in all, after doing all this analysis, what we get is 165K. And this is our equity roll forward with the answer here as D, 165.